shit.
Favorite moments is the postcard shots where you're alone in the wilderness.
Wow.
You can hear the birds chirping, the leaves rustling.
So I just got done watching the Xbox live stream of Tomb Raider, the gameplay showcase at Gamescom, and it looks incredible. So let's talk about it.
We will allow it.
Thank you. And here she is. Oh, such swagger she's got.
Yeah, you see that familiar silhouette come into the light, and you just instantly get the hairs on the back of your neck standing up.
Okay, I think Tomb Raider might actually be back, because after seeing this new gameplay from Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis at Gamescom, I have one question. What the f*** have they done to Laura? And I mean that in the best way possible. We just got an extended look at the game, and this wasn't some 30-second cinematic trailer. We got actual gameplay, exploration, combat, puzzles, Peru, and of course, the T-Rex. So, today we're breaking down everything shown during the Gamescom showcase and talking about why this remake might be one of the best. Let's go back to 1996 really quick. The original Tomb Raider introduced the world to Lara Croft. She wasn't just a character, she became an icon. And that first game was built around something that modern Tomb Raider sometimes gets criticized for losing: exploration. You weren't consistently being told where to go, you had to figure shit out. You'd walk into some gigantic ancient room and immediately think, okay, what the hell am I supposed to do here? And that's exactly the feeling Legacy of Atlantis seems to be chasing. But instead of simply giving us an original game with prettier graphics, they are rebuilding it. So this is probably the biggest thing I took away from the Gamescom footage. Legacy of Atlantis isn't simply, hey, you remember this level? We gave it 4K textures. The environments have been expanded and redesigned. The developers have talked about taking areas that were basically separate rooms into original and turning them into larger areas. And you can actually see that in the gameplay. We are in Peru, and it feels big. There's more verticality, more paths, more things happening around Laura, and importantly, it looks like you're actually encouraged to explore. That's something I really want from this game, because Lara Croft should make you feel like an explorer, not just someone following a waypoint. And then there's Laura herself. This version of Laura is obviously inspired by the original, but she's not exactly the same woman. She's more expressive, more grounded, and her movement feels much more modern. But what I really like is that they haven't completely turned her into a superhero. She's still vulnerable, she's still getting thrown around by the environment, she's still climbing through places that look like they were specifically designed to kill her, which, let's be honest, it's basically Laura's entire career. Alright, now let's talk about the combat, because this is one of the areas where Legacy of Atlantis looks significantly different from the 1996 game. Obviously, two pistols are still involved, because if Lara Croft ever loses the dual pistols, we riot, of course. But the combat looks much more fluid. Lara can move around enemies, reposition herself, and use the environment more naturally, and I think that's important because you don't want combat to completely dominate the experience. The original Tomb Raider wasn't a third-person shooter, it was an adventure game. The guns were there, but the world was the star, and hopefully, Legacy of Atlantis understands that. These puzzles look extremely promising. This is what I'm most interested in, the puzzles, because one of the biggest challenges with remaking an old game is figuring out how much you change. Make the puzzles exactly the same, then people complain they're outdated. Change them too much, then people complain you ruined the original. It's a nightmare, but from what we've seen, Legacy of Atlantis seems to be taking the middle ground. The developers are keeping the basic spirit of the original puzzles while expanding them into larger environments. So instead of walking into a tiny room and pushing some object, you might have an entire area to investigate. And that's exactly what I want. I want it to be confusing. I want to stare at a room for 10 minutes thinking there's no way I'm this stupid, only to finally figure it out and realize I was in fact that stupid. And visually, holy shit, look at Peru. It looked incredible. The original Lost Valley was already one of the most memorable sections of Tomb Raider. You had ancient ruins, waterfalls, raptors, and eventually the T-Rex. Now imagine the same level rebuilt with modern technology, massive environments, dense vegetation, lighting, weather, detailed ruins, and a giant dinosaur chasing Laura through it. This is basically the Tomb Raider fantasy. Okay, let's talk about the obvious now. The T-Rex. Because when you say Tomb Raider, there are certain moments everyone remembers, and the T-Rex is one of them. Seeing it recreated with modern visuals is honestly ridiculous, and I'm not going to lie, if this thing comes charging out of the jungle and the music kicks in, I'm probably going to scream. Not because I'm scared, obviously. I'm a professional. I'm absolutely terrified though. One thing I'm going to be paying attention to very closely when this game releases, balance, because Legacy of Atlantis has a difficult job. It needs to respect the original Tomb Raider while also bringing the game that feels good to play in 2027, and it's not that easy. If they modernize it too much, it starts feeling like Tomb Raider. If they stay too close to the original, it feels outdated. But honestly, after seeing this Gamescom gameplay, I'm feeling pretty optimistic because it looks like they're trying to understand why the original worked, rather than copying what it looked like. So, is Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis going to be good? Obviously, we don't know. We've only seen pieces of the game, but after this Gamescom showcase, I'm officially excited, because this feels like Lara Croft returning to the thing that made her special in the first place. Exploration, mystery, ancient ruins, puzzles, danger, and occasionally she's getting chased by something that has absolutely no business being that goddamn fast. This game is currently scheduled to release February 12th, 2027 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Nintendo Switch. And if Crystal Dynamics can actually nail the balance between the classic Tomb Raider experience and modern game design, we might be looking at something special. Because Lara Croft doesn't need to become somebody else, she just needs to remind us why we fell in love with her in the first place. And yes, I will absolutely be playing this when it comes out, because apparently I still haven't learned my lesson about following Lara Croft into ancient ruins. So, if you guys enjoyed this video and are very excited about Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis and want more coverage next week when they show more, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And when Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis comes out, I will be doing a 12-hour stream of the game and of the official launch. So, make sure you guys are there on Twitch and YouTube, even though that's in next year. I will still remind you. But I hope you guys have a really good day, and I hope you guys stay smiling, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.